Hello, my name is Marcus, and welcome to my channel. Over Mark Jack's 79 7-year history, it has seen a great deal of faces. Walt Disney World, Comic-Cons and cosplay, video games, anime, movies. But there's been one consistent basis of the foundation of the channel that has held its reins and held it strong for its 7-year history. That foundation will always be action figures. I present 2024's top 10 action figures. I'm very excited to share this with you guys, so buckle down, sit back. If you've seen one of my top 10 videos before, you know the drill. These are my personal picks based off of the action figures that I personally reviewed throughout the duration of the year. I don't care when they came out. I don't care what the other action reviewers say. This is my choice. This is my personal opinion. So stick with me and let's go through our list. Presenting Mark Jack 79's 2024 top 10 action figures. Number 10, the Premium DNA Banjo-Kazooie Fluffed Edition. Yes, I am fully aware this action figure came out last year, but with some financial difficulty that I suffered in 2023, I was not able to get him until 2024. A clearance price of $40. And getting this figure onto my collection was literally a childhood dream come true. This is a perfect representation of how Banjo-Kazooie was represented in Banjo-Kazooie, the classic Nintendo 64 game, and Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, at least from the artwork. It was a beautiful rendition of the character. I ended up getting the Fluffed Edition, kind of giving him that furry effect. As you can see, it has stood the test of time throughout the duration of the year. Still looks good, even with a little bit of dust covering on him. Comes out perfect, man. It really does. So happy to have this childhood icon added onto the shelf. Even to be completely honest, the only reason he's not higher is because he came out last year. But I just loved him so much that I had to add him to the 2024 list at number 10. Number 9, the Jakks Pacific Neo Metal Sonic. Hope y'all are Sonic fans. Because if not, you're in for a long video. I love this figure. This was a perfect representation of this version of Metal Sonic that appeared in Sonic Heroes. Comes with his little cool lightning accessory. Articulation on this figure was grand. Kind of the trope with the Jakks Pacific Sonic action figures. If they're metal, they always tend to have really expanded articulation. They did a really good job with this figure. He ended up being very tough to track down. I was never able to find him on Target or Walmart shelves, and I'm having to pay double just to get him from eBay. And he was well worth the effort for sure. As you can see here, it looks so good, man. I'm so happy to have this classic Sonic character added on to my collection, and that is exactly why he makes the number 9 spot. Number 8, the SH Figuarts Mecha Frieza, an easy addition to the list. I absolutely love this figure. Again, a spitting image of how Mecha Frieza appeared in the Trunks saga from the Dragon Ball Z anime. From the silver casing on his legs and tail, the shiny purple coating on the belly, the cool metal plating that he has over his face. Such a cool design for Frieza after he was cut down by Goku and then finished off by Trunks. A very classic character as well. So happy that SH Figuarts made this version of Frieza, and I was so happy to add him to the shelf, and that is why it takes its number 8 spot. Such a cool figure. I would definitely recommend checking out that review because it has a lot of functionality to provide some classic scenes for sure. Number 7, the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball GT Super Android 17. Absolutely love this figure. It makes the list due to all of the possible posing capabilities. Him being able to pull off his wrist cannons and be able to shoot them off. Him coming with this energy spear, coming with the numerous face sculpts and different hair sculpt opportunities, the wind effect, the articulation in the legs, in the shoulders, in the chest plating. Absolutely spectacular. Absolutely loved posing this figure around. He was such a joy to get and such an iconic character from Dragon Ball GT that usually gets slept on by Dragon Ball fans, that we were able to add this specific character to the collection. So happy to have him here, and I am proud to add him to the top 10 list at number 7. Number 6, the Deadpool and Wolverine in his iconic comic yellow and blue spandex outfit. There was no way, as much as I love Deadpool and Wolverine, that this version of this character was not going to make the list. I went back and forth on whether or not I wanted to get the Marvel Legends or the SH figure arts of this character. I'm happy I went with the Marvel Legends due to its coming with the maskless head as well. In my opinion, that is the best maskless head Hugh Jackman that we have ever gotten in action figure form, at least on a 6-inch scale. This figure came out so freaking good. I know a lot of people have gripes because it has the sleeves. Hopefully eventually get a sleeveless version. I know a lot of people customize this guy to get a sleeveless version of him, but just the genuine release, I was happy enough with it to be satisfied to have this version of this character on my shelf, man. So, and that is exactly why it takes the number 6 spot. A little bit biased, if I'm being completely honest, but I don't care. Like I said, it's my list. I love this movie, and I love this character, and I love this figure, and that's why it makes the list. Number 5, the SH Figure Arts Final Form Frieza 100%. Obviously, you can just look at this figure and just see the definition of it, the detail, the accessories that he came with. There was no way I was going to make this list and not add this figure with these 2 deadly discs and add him onto this list, man. There was no way. I love this figure. I had such a fun time reviewing him. So easy to pose and stand up and get an awesome pose. Basically, it was no matter what accessory you pose this figure with, he was going to look awesome. So happy to get this figure and to pose him against the legendary Super Saiyan Goku, man. It was such a cool commodity to review and film for you guys, man. So happy to have this version of the iconic Lord Frieza on my shelf. So happy, and that is why it takes the number 5 spot. Number 4, the Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog Mephiles the Dark. Let me just say that I'm just shocked at the fact that we even got this character in action figure form in the first place. Easily one of the best action figures from a 4-inch standpoint that they have ever created, and doing the Sonic franchise for the last 4 or 5 years now. This is spectacular. I mean, you can just look at the detail and the graphic structure of the figure itself. The articulation really came out good. You can see this energy effect. First time I've ever seen a Sonic character get an energy effect in action figure form. I mean, as many times as we've seen Sonic or Knuckles or Shadow power up, it blows my mind that we've never gotten an energy effect, but for Mephiles the Dark, we get it. So very happy to have this character added on to my collection. Definitely not my favorite Sonic character by any stretch of the imagination, but when it comes to just an action figure per se, this is top notch. For $10, $11, whatever you guys were able to pay for them, this is spectacular, worth every penny. Number 3, the SH Figure Arts Dragon Ball Daima Goku Mini. I'm so excited to get this version of Goku onto the shelf. What's funny is I was almost going to skip this Goku at first because I wasn't too keen on Dragon Ball Daima yet, but once I got about 5 or 6 episodes in, I was sold that I knew I needed to add this version of Goku onto the shelf, and I am so happy that I did. This is one of SH Figure Arts' best. Just the ingenuity that goes into this figure, just on how small it is. It's like maybe 3 inches tall. So good, man. It has the same level of articulation that any normal standard SH Figure Arts figure has. And the price point was exactly where I needed to be at. Could have been maybe a little bit cheaper, but at $35 retail, it came out so good. Definitely the articulation is where the majority of the price went to. And I feel like we got our money's worth for sure for adding another version of the best anime character of all time. I'm sure at this point, this is probably, from an SH Figure Arts standpoint, everybody's at least 10th Goku, but it wouldn't be a Mark Jack 79 top 10 list without a Goku, in my opinion. So that's where we are. Happy to add him, man. Really am. Number 2 is a tie. We have the Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog 3 movie verse, Sonic and Shadow. This was a no-brainer. When it comes to Jakks Pacific, this is them at their very best. These 5-inch action figures of these 2 iconic hedgehogs is some of the best movie figures that I have ever seen come through in my collection. From screen to action figure representation that we got from these $15 figures was was so good, man. The articulation, I mean, not exactly at a Figma or a Figuarts level, but to the untrained eye, for somebody that doesn't fool around with action figures on a daily basis, it would be hard to tell the difference. This Sonic and this Shadow is actually able to get into running and skating poses respectively. You know, check out that review. And just the look and feel of them specifically. I mean, this looks like they literally jumped off the screen, man. These were so good. I'm so happy to have them added onto the collection. I thought about swapping them out with the light up version, but I feel like these are more akin to actual action figures with the added torso articulation, where the light up figure, they're action figures themselves as well, but they're more of a statue, kind of just with movable features, where so these have a more standard action figure feel to them. So that's the only reason why I put these on here and not the light up Sonic and Shadow. So, and that is exactly why, because they're so epic, of why they take the number 2 spot. Honorable mention 1, the SH Figuarts 2B. This was an absolute spectacular figure. It was such a fun time posing her around and adding her to the museum. Honestly, the only reason she didn't make the top 10 list was because she came out in 2023. Due to financial difficulty, I was not able to add her to the museum until 2024. But nevertheless, it was such a fun figure to pose around and get, and that is why I had to at least include her in the video in some form of a compassion. So that's why she makes an honorable mention. Honorable mention 2, the SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z King Code. This was another spectacular figure to review and get added to the collection. Honestly, the only reason he didn't make the top 10 list was his price point at $200. Just a little bit exaggerated in my opinion. Even with all the accessories that he came with, it just seemed a little much. You know, SH Figuarts has been really blowing up these prices lately, and unfortunately, this one definitely affected the effectiveness of this figure for sure. Nevertheless, I still loved adding him to the collection, but you know, paying that 200 plus that I had to fork over to get him here, just not my favorite for sure. Still a spectacular figure though. And now, presenting our number 1 action figure of 2024. Let's do it. Who's gonna win it? Number 1, the SH Figuarts Super Saiyan Son Gohan, the boy that surpassed Goku. Oh my god, man. This is one of these figures that this is the reason why we collect. If you are any kind of a Dragon Ball Z fan, this was one of these moments that this is what got you into the anime in general. They put everything into this figure, in my opinion. That cape with the windy, wiry effect, that came out so good. I usually don't even pose my figures with the Piccolo style capes, but this one here, there was no way I could not put this cape on Gohan, man. He was so epic. Articulation came out perfectly. The only thing missing is a Super Saiyan 2 head. I was a little bit frustrated with it because of that, but just this version of Super Saiyan Teen Gohan, absolute perfection. Like I said, this, if you were any kind of a Dragon Ball Z fan back in the 90s, early 2000s, if you don't have this figure in your collection, you are severely missing out. This is a branching action figure of what can get you hooked on the line for sure. That iconic battle that he had with Cell, it just replicates everything that we need here. It was such a major improvement from the original version of this figure. I was so happy to get it in, man. It just puts a smile on my face. This figure is a reason why I have been doing this for 7 years. It really is. This was such a fun figure to pose around and just add to the collection, man. It really was. I'm so happy to have it. And that, my friends, will conclude our top 10 figures for 2024. Love it, man. So cool. All right, my friends, and that concludes our list right there. So if you took the journey with me, if you enjoyed my list, please do me a favor and hit that like button. If you disagree with any of my choices, please feel free to comment in the comment section below. Just try to be respectful. I would appreciate that. Man, this was definitely the year of Sonic for sure. So that's why you see so many Sonic figures, the list this year. Of course, you're going to always see a lot of Dragon Ball figures on the list. That's my core collecting bug right there. We only got 1 Marvel Legends added onto the list this year. I didn't review a ton of Marvel Legends this year. It is what it is, I guess. But and then that Banjo-Kazooie just puts a smile on my face every time I look at it. All right, my friends, that is going to do it. So if you want to see more content just like this, if you want to follow me into 2025, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, man. Okay, you know what to do. You can follow me at youtube.com/smartjack79. I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, my friends. So, as always, thank you guys for the continued support. Love y'all for allowing me to just be me, man. You watch my content and support my videos. I couldn't be more grateful for that. As always, I will see y'all on the next one. I'll catch y'all later.